Okay, well, we'll get started. My name is Denny Carroll, and I manage the Relocation and Client Service Center here at Carpenter. We're located just down the hall. You've probably seen me walking down the hall a few times this week. And I have been with Carpenter for 20 years. And have held every position in our department, except for Ryan Carroll's position. He's the director, and he was just in here a minute ago. Yes, we do share the same last name. He's not my brother. Ryan and I met at a relocation company in Memphis, Tennessee. We were there for 2 years handling corporate relocation before coming here. He had a business relationship with the old relo director, and when she retired, she asked if he had any interest in coming here because he's from Northwest Indiana. So we met with the then owner, Tom Prawl, and he wanted both of us. So I have worked for my husband for 20 years. As long as he knows I'm the boss after 5, we'll be fine. So Ryan is the director of our relocation department. A few years ago, he also became Region 5 manager over the West office, Northwest office, Northeast office, North College office, this office, Greenfield. That might be it. East office, I said, right? So when he did that, I was moved into the operations manager position. So that's Ryan and myself. In addition, we do have some other members of our team. I'm going to skip around. If you're on the Carpenter website and go over to the Learning Center, you can go to International Relocation. Doesn't that sound exciting? And there's a little page there that says Relocation Client Services Team if you want to get to know who's in that department. And you've probably seen a few of them walking around here this week as well. So there's Ryan and myself. Laura Keller, she handles all of our corporate relocation, which we'll talk a little bit about. Leslie Booth. Oh no, well, that's not good. Let's try that again.
There you go.
There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah. Laura Keller handles all of our corporate relocations. Leslie Booth handles our broker referrals. And then Christy Axley, Robin Wilson handles some internet leads for us nights and weekends. Laura and Leslie also handle internet leads for us during the week. Talk about all those things with you in a minute. And Bob Buscelli handles accounting for us, sending out referral checks. We have some corporate listings that sometimes we put utilities in our name or have to mow the lawn, do repairs, things like that, and he handles the billing for us. So that gives you an idea of who's on our department. It's a pretty big department. We do a lot of business in there. And so the reason we're doing this class is to kind of teach you about what we do and why it's important to you in your business, right? So the Client Service Center, so CSC is what we call ourselves, is the national accounts area of the company. We manage the relationships with corporations, relocation companies, real estate brokers across the globe. We also manage Carpenter's Internet Lead Management Division, providing service and support to the online consumer, to you, our agents, and to your clients. And we'll talk about how we do that. All right. We'll talk a little bit about corporate relocation. I don't want to go too deep into it because it's pretty involved. There's lots of rules and lots of different things that go along with it. Have any of you or any of your maybe family or friends ever been relocated by their employer and had a relocation company involved, a third-party relocation company? Okay, so you're familiar with that. There's companies such as Cardis, Serva, Ayers, Weichert, MSI, New Compass. There are probably 30 or 40 of them out there that handle relocation. And those relocation companies represent companies like Eli Lilly, Roche, Cummins, GM, big companies like that when they have employees that they need to transfer from one town to another for whatever reason. We work with all of them pretty much. We are the preferred and approved relocation partner for most of them. Some of the companies we work with are listed on the screen. Cummins is a lot in Columbus, a lot on the south side. The Bridgestone Firestone account, actually they just did a huge group move out of here last year, their buildings material division, and moved to Nashville. So we moved about 65 to 70 of their employees for them, helped them find realtors here at Carpenter to list their home so they could move to Nashville. And that was our role in that. Relocation is different for a lot of reasons. So if you are meeting with new clients talking to new clients on the phone, and you learn that that client is going to be involved in a relocation of some sort. They have a relocation package, they have a third-party relocation company. You start hearing these terms about their benefits. Don't hesitate to call us, okay? Our phone numbers are on the website. They're also on this flyer, and they're also in the relocation section of your book. The reason you should get us involved is because there's different rules involved with someone being relocated. With regards to someone selling their home, there are different kind of programs and benefits involved. Sometimes a company might say, Tiffany, I want you to move to Cincinnati. I'm going to give you 10 grand and I'll see you when you get there in 2 weeks, right? You're on your own. Give me a bonus. It's going to be taxable income to you, and I'll see you there. You got to sell your house, buy a new house, but this is what we're doing. Or maybe it's 20 grand, right? They just give you a lump sum sort of hiring bonus or relocation expense. Then there's other people who might get what's called some relocation assistance on their sale of their home. That is also a tax benefit to them, okay? So the way that looks is if you sell your home in a normal situation and you have to incur commission expenses and closing costs, right? You move to Cincinnati, maybe your employer's just gonna reimburse you for all your expenses. And you tell your boss, here's my closing statement, I spent $25,000 selling my home, I need you to reimburse me. Okay, that's also taxable income to you, right? They reimburse you, but it's considered taxable income. Well, there is a program available through relocation that helps with taxes for you as the employee, right? The way that that works is if you had a home to sell and you had a buyer come in, wanted to make an offer on the home, you would negotiate the offer with the buyer, but then the relocation company involved with your move signs as a seller. And that relocation company is going to say, okay, Tiffany, I'm going to buy your house from you, and then I'm going to sell your house to this buyer over here. And the reason that exists is so now the expenses involved in the sale of your home become business expenses to your employer instead of taxable income to you. That's the easiest way to explain it. The way that it works involves a ton of paperwork, extra documents need to be signed, stacked like this usually. There's extra rules involved, who negotiates inspections, who negotiates this, and who takes care of the property until it closes. A lot of different rules. But I'm not going to go through that because it's confusing, it takes a long time, and it's Friday, right? But that's the gist of it on the selling side. It's really some of these relocation programs that are out there are there to help the employee with their taxes, less expenses in a move and things like that. It is expensive for a company to do this, but when they have a valued employee they're willing to move, they don't mind that expense. Not everyone gets that benefit, okay? So that's the biggest difference on a relocation on the listing side. There are some differences sometimes on the buying side. Some companies require their employees to use a realtor even if they're going to do new construction, or if they see it for sale by owner, they must use a realtor. Some don't. We work with some renters too who come in and we get paid to provide rental service to them. No two deals are alike. There's a lot of differences in relocation. The agents who work these transactions are our most experienced agents. The relocation companies require the agents to have, in general, at least 3 years in the business, some of them 5, and at least half of their transactions to be listings if they're going to work with sellers and so forth. So even though as a new agent you may not qualify for that business, most of the time if you have a client that requests to work with you and that person's getting relocated, you can still work with them because our relocation department works with all of these different relocation companies and we can assist you with it. So don't ever hesitate to get involved. Don't be scared to get involved because we can help you, okay? So I'm not going to say any more about corporate relocation because it's not fun. I think it's fun because I've been doing it so long, but most agents don't think it's fun. Why would we do, in addition, there's referral fees involved. We have to pay referral fees to these relocation companies. They're typically anywhere from 35 to 42% of the total commission on the side of the transaction you're representing. So if you have the seller, there's a 35% up to 42% referral fee taken out of that commission. Why do we do this business? Well, we do it because these people who are getting moved by their employers are typically someone who makes a lot of money, lives in a good neighborhood, somewhere you'd want to sign. I think I'd want to sign anywhere on the list side, right? And then the buyers are typically higher priced buyers that you'd want to work with, and they're definitely moving. You know, we convert a much higher percentage of those referrals to closings, right? Because they have to move. So it's good business for us. Plus, someone at Lilly or someone at Roche or someone at Cummins that's new will meet a lot of people. And if they speak highly of our agents, there's an opportunity for some personal referrals there as well. Okay, I said I was going to stop talking about it, and I am. We are going to talk a little bit about broker referrals. So the importance of this really is your payday sitting on your table. You're new, you might not have a listing yet, you might not have a buyer yet, but you're ready to make some money, right? You want to have your first payday. Well, we can help you with that through what we call outbound referrals or outgoing referrals, okay? So whenever you have a friend, family member, someone in your sphere, a client who needs to buy or sell real estate outside of Carpenter's coverage area. You can't put them in your car, you can't list their home. They're in southern Indiana, they're in Kentucky, they're in California, Florida. Wherever that person might be, you can still help them by placing a referral and referring that person to a great realtor in the location they need help in, okay? And you can do that through our department. We are part of Leading Real Estate Companies of the World. Has anyone brought that up before? Is that the first time you've heard Leading RE or Leading Real Estate Companies of the World? You've not heard it before? Don't worry, I won't take too long. So the Leading Real Estate Companies of the World is a large network of independent brokers, not only across the United States, but globally, okay? What happened in the 90s, you had a couple of these big independent companies, real estate companies that were seeing franchises like Century 21 and RE/MAX, let's say, referring business back and forth. You know, if I work at Century 21 in Indianapolis and I have a client moving to Chicago, well, I'm gonna call Century 21 in Chicago, right? And refer my client. Same with the RE/MAXs and things like that. So of course these independent companies that aren't part of a franchise are going, well, how am I going to do this? I have no one to play with, right? So those big independent companies formed the Leading Real Estate Companies of the World, and all these big independent companies started becoming a part of that. And when I came here, we were part of Better Homes and Gardens franchise. Then we became GMAC Real Estate franchise before becoming independent. And at the time we became independent, we spoke with Leading RE. We had to be interviewed. So David and Ryan both interviewed with Leading RE. We had to submit our financials. They needed to know our market share. They interviewed our competitors before we were approved. You don't just write a check and you're automatically in. And so we've been part of Leading RE for probably 15, 16 years now. So one, it's there to help us in placing referrals, having partners to refer business back and forth with. We also share best practices. We share new business ideas, new companies that we could work with as vendors, and things like that. We meet at conferences a couple times a year, and that's our network that we belong to. So when you hear Leading RE, that's for short, because no one wants to say Leading Companies of the World, Leading Real Estate Companies of the World. See, I can't even say it. It's too much to say. So when you hear Leading RE, that's what that means. And they're important to what we do in our department. I'm going to show a video, and I know the still frame of her with her eyes closed is funny, and I don't know why it did that, but I'm going to show this video. Hopefully I have the volume up loud enough. It's a little long, but it's pretty cool, and some of this still, this is probably a little old. It's even updated. There's more companies that are a part of it now than when this video was taken. It gives you a little bit better idea about Leading RE, and we'll go a little bit after that, talking more about outbound referrals and how you place those and how those work for you, how you can find them and how you can talk about them, right? That's important. We'll spend a little more time on that because that's how you're going to make money, right? Okay, so I'm going to play this video. We'll see how the volume is. Let's see.
Your company is a member of Leading Real Estate Companies of the World, a by-invitation network of 550 market-leading firms throughout the U.S. and 55 other countries.
I think it's up to 70 countries now.
You may have noticed that Leading RE is really focused on promoting member-to-member referrals. Ever wonder why that is? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. Leading RE is the independent broker's alternative to franchising. We exist to serve the interests of high-quality, market-leading independent member firms and their agents, and that means you. As a member of Leading RE, you have many of the same advantages as a franchise: the national and global connections to help you win listings, an award-winning online learning platform, state-of-the-art agent conferences, and many other benefits. The one thing you don't have? Paying a percentage off the top of all of your business to a national franchise. Instead, Leading RE relies on a portion of referral fees from broker-to-broker referrals to fuel this independent broker engine.
Well, as an agent, we're always going to honor your requests. We're going to try to make the best match that we can. But one of the things we want you to do is, by coming through the relocation department, you're going to leverage the size of our organization, you're going to leverage the size of Leading RE, and we're going to make sure that you get a partner in that location that really knows the marketplace, not just someone who paid a fee to be on a list.
Whether or not you personally receive a referral from another Leading RE member, referrals to your company provide a host of benefits. First, referrals to your company generate buyers for your listings and listings for your buyers. Second, the fact that your company is on the receiving end of member referrals is a great listing tool. You can brag about the business coming into your company, as well as the national and global exposure this network provides to prospective buyers of your listings. And third, you can earn significant incremental income and expand your sphere of influence when you send outgoing referrals to other members. There is no better way to make an impression on another Leading RE member than by introducing a well-qualified buyer or a motivated seller. Best of all, you can refer with confidence to an agent who is every bit as caring, knowledgeable, and client-focused as you are. Given Leading RE's remarkable 40+% conversion rate and high average price point, this can mean thousands of dollars to you each year.